Good afternoon, Carolyn Russin here, professional life coach. Thanks for joining me. For those of you who are new, welcome. For those of you who've been here before, welcome back. Hope you're having a fabulous day. I wanted to talk to you today. I come across a lot of women who realize they're stuck. They can see it, they can feel it, but there's that fear of what now? What's next? And, you know, for those of us who are 40s, 50s, 60s, etc., we're going through a lot of changes right now. And things that we're not used to. Things that are just kind of coming out of left field. And we're just like, what the heck do we do with this? Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Bridget. And so it's tough because we've been used to kind of running it. You know, I often talk about as women, we kind of follow this recipe of life. And for different people, it might be different orders. You know, you finish school, you graduate at whatever point in your education, you start a career, you get married, you have kids, and the kids grow up. And before you know it, all of a sudden, you're kind of halfway through your life. And everything has been kind of prescribed as far as the stages. And it's like, and now what? Now what? My kids are gone, or they're about to leave. I'm living with this spouse that I don't even recognize anymore because, of course, we've prioritized our kids for the last couple of decades. You know, if you happen to have parents that are still alive, dealing with them in their older years and their needs change and increase and whatnot. So we have a lot of challenges that are being thrown at us at this point in our lives. And it's hard to do it alone. It's hard to do it without any support. So again, it's what now? And so many women who've been used to dealing with all this and being strong and be able to do this are like, what now? So, you know, I want to ask you, like, have you ever found yourself at the edge of a decision, you know, knowing this could potentially change your life for the better, but you found yourself frozen in fear? Fear of cost, fear of the unknown, maybe even fear of failure. Now, if that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And give me a thumbs up if you're like, yeah, that sounds familiar. Hi, Barb. So, you know, being at this precipice of big decision to be made and this daunting fear, even though you know this could potentially really help you, but there's that gnawing fear in the background of fear of the cost, fear of the unknown. Is this going to help or not? Fear of failure. What if it doesn't work? And I think I talked about, I can't remember when it was, a Facebook Live not too long ago about there's a cost. There's a cost involved of investing in yourself. There's a cost involved of not investing in yourself. And obviously the cost of investing in yourself is more of a financial one. But it's also equally important to address when you don't invest in yourself and you are stuck and you're unhappy and you can't remember the last time you felt true joy and you choose not to do that financial investment and you stay where you are, there is a serious cost there. And there have been many women that I've talked to that I then follow up with it. You know, they address that all these needs that they have, the challenges, and we talk about potentially working together or not. And when we don't, I'll follow up with them maybe 6 months, a year down the road and say, hey, how you doing? Are things better? I haven't heard from you, so I'm assuming maybe they sought out someone else or sought out a different type of work. No problem. And often I get, it's more the same, or actually it's a little worse now because like I've had enough of all this. So the sacrifice of not financially investing in themselves, it has a big cost. But it's daunting. And let me make this very clear. This is not a sales pitch. And I know for some of you, that might be the way you're interpreting this. This is not a sales pitch at all. My main bottom line here is if you are in the place right now where you feel stuck, you're not happy, you don't know what the next step is, you don't know what the next stage of your life could or should look like for you, sure, if you want to work together, hi Sandy, wonderful. If not, that's fine. But I want to encourage you, if that's where you are and you're not happy, is to seek out help. If it's not here, no worries. If you're looking for another life coach, if you're looking for a therapist, if you're looking for a different program, whatever it is, but take that next step. That's so important, hi Mary Lou, not to stay stuck where you are for months or years, because it is costly. It is so costly, not financially, but in other ways, which to me are way more important. And it's trying to look at that big picture and kind of seeing where you're at. And so many of the women that I talk to get so caught up in the day-to-day and don't see what's going on and how, yeah, I'm kind of in the same place I was a year ago or 2 years ago. There's been no change. And that's why they're not feeling more joy. So, and it is daunting. And I've been in your shoes before. I've been there where I wasn't happy. You know, back before I switched over to life coaching and I was a vice principal and I wasn't happy. I was bored. But it worked for us. It worked for my family, that job. You know, my husband travels a ton. So for me to have a job that worked around school hours to accommodate for our kids, that worked. It was a stable job. It was a well-paying job. It was a respectable job. It gave me a feeling of significance, of importance, even though I was bored. And so I stayed there, but I wasn't happy. And for those of you who know me well, you know it took a third concussion to kind of force me out, to actually force me to really take a good look at my life. And even then, it didn't happen right away. It took 7 years. It took 7 years of constant headaches, nausea, dizziness, overwhelm, couldn't focus, all that stuff. And because I got so caught up in the details, I couldn't see the bigger picture. Now, we joke about it. So obviously I'm doing much better. And, you know, my kids will say to me, Mom, how many times do you have to get hit in the head before you clue in you're not on the right path? And that's where so many other people I find I'm talking to often get these signs that they ignore. And I'm a big believer of, it doesn't matter what your belief system is, whether this is the universe, God, whomever, we get sent signals. And if we don't listen to them, they get louder until you are forced to listen to them. Whether that is a job loss, whether that is health related, maybe it's a heart attack or anything serious like that. Maybe it's a marriage breakup. These signals come to us saying, hello, wake up and look at what's happening and how can you work to improve this? So for me, when I finally addressed that, that was life-changing for me. And I have spent, and I get it, it's not cheap. And I have spent thousands upon thousands and thousands of dollars. And for me, I look at kind of 3 different ways. One, I get help with my mindset, because that's huge. I get help with my business. And I also look at programs where I learn. For me to learn as a life coach, again, that's massive for me. And that's my education background, because I need to keep learning. Like, that's really, really important to me. And there have been times in my life where I've gone the therapy route, because at that time and at that moment, that was going to help what it was I was looking for specifically. Hi, Sherry Lynn. So that's what I'm really encouraging you. If you are finding that you are stuck, you're unhappy, you don't know what the next phase of your life is going to look like, and you need help, absolutely. Type info below. I can help you learn what that could look like. But if it's not with me, that's fine. But don't stay stuck. Look outside. Look at what's out there. You deserve this. And I'll tell you, once you make that step, once you make that financial commitment, it's like a weight gets lifted off your shoulders. And here's a very specific recent experience for me. A lot of you know we just got a new puppy. He's a year old now. And it's really strange because when we had our last dog, I'm not sure what I did training-wise, but it didn't seem to be a big deal. We didn't go anywhere. We didn't hire anyone. I just did it. And I'm not sure what I did. Maybe the dog was just so much easier, our last dog. I don't know. This one, love him to death. And he is a lovely dog. but there are some things we really need to work on. He can be a little yappy, and walking is a bit of a challenge, and he's got a lot of anxiety. So anyway, I was, again, getting caught up in the details, not looking at the big picture, thinking, okay, he just needs a little more time, We kept trying to work with him with whatever it was I was doing. And then finally I'm like, well, okay, whoa, we need some help here, because we're not going to continue like this for the next 10 plus years. So I actually did a lot of investigation and checked out, and I signed up for this program for training. This was just a week ago. As soon as I did that, it was like this big weight was lifted off my shoulders, because now I know we're going to be looked after. I know everything's going to be okay. And so I don't have to get caught up in those details anymore. So once you take that plunge, it's just a big relief of, okay, I'm in very skilled, capable hands. And now I can breathe. So if you want to know what that feeling feels like, type info below, and I can easily share information with you about that. But again, this is not a sales pitch. If you are looking elsewhere, that's fine. But please, please, because I care about all of you, you're in my group here. I don't want you staying stuck. I don't want you staying unhappy. So if it means looking elsewhere and looking for help in other means, albeit, that's fine. But give me a thumbs up if you're like, I need to really start thinking about this for me. Like, I need to think about, okay, what are the next 5-10 years going to look like? How am I going to feel if I'm still where I'm at now, 5 years from now? How's that going to feel? And I know for a lot of women, that's a scary thought, because if you're not happy now and you don't change anything now, you know where you're going to be in 5 years. You're going to be in the exact same spot or worse, because it's going to be more frustrating for you. And you also may start getting some of those signs. And if you don't listen to them, it might be a very different situation. So I hope this has been helpful. If you're watching this on the replay, type replay below. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out, send me a DM, a text, whatever, no worries. And have a fabulous day. Take care.